I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. Hello out there in video land, it's me again, the Lazy Video Gamer, and welcome to another Lazy Video Gamer show and another Battle of the Systems. As you know, I'm a wrestling fan from the old days and I played a lot of wrestling games from the WWF. And I just, wanna make a little bit a battle between the main systems who are out there. The Nintendo Entertainment System and the Master System. And I'll rank a winner, and this winner in this episode, I promise you, will maybe surprise you. So sit back, relax and enjoy wrestling games or WWF wrestling games on the 8-bit systems. So let's start with the game that started it all, and simultaneously the baddest of all those official WWF games, simply called WrestleMania. Well, where should I start? It hasn't a big color palette, to say it nicely. No wrestler intro music, and a gameplay out of hell. You can run, you can punch, you can kick, and after a long struggling fight, you can pin your opponent. You can choose between exhibition match and a tournament, but yeah, that doesn't brings a lot to the table. The only thing I can mention about this game is that from time to time there are symbols appearing on the upper side of the ring, and you can collect them and get some recovery. From LJN. Also available on the Game Boy, King of the Ring. And it's still a disaster. It's practically the same game than on the Game Boy, with the almost same bad optics, and as you see, only the wrestlers and the upper ring side are colored in what I'm calling the action scene. So with the grappling system, it comes nearer to a wrestling game, in my opinion, but it's so repetitive. It wasn't fun at the Game Boy, and it isn't more fun on the NES. So this is a very special title from LJN. Steel Cage Challenge. WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. Just take a look at the title screen, you'll remember that later. It was in the core the same game like WWF Superstars 2 on the Game Boy, with a larger sized screen and a bigger roster of wrestlers. But at this occasion I want to mention, in my opinion, the sound quality is not great. There are intro musics you maybe don't recognize in the first seconds. Also, the colors aren't that great from the portraits of the wrestlers, and even but it is what I call a typical LJN wrestling game from the early 90s. In the main game Steel Cage Challenge, it was just simple to get out of the ring at any time, but you have to make secure that the opponent can't hinder you. Now here is what I talked about. In my opinion, the better version of the game, and it's simultaneously also the only WWF game on the Sega Master System. It comes without Hulk Hogan at the title screen, but it has the more appealing roster of characters to me. If you just think back, the legendary feud between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. On the 16-bit counterparts, you couldn't make up this match. But here it works. I think the sound in this version is surprisingly better than on the NES. But in the main core it's the same game. But as you can see at the portraits of the wrestlers, there are more colors. For the old and bad Master System. But this game is an example, even it's just a wrestling game, that the Master System could show some strength. For the gameplay it's the same. It's a one-to-one adaptation of the gameplay of the NES, and what was really interesting, on the reason the Game Gear and the Master System were practically identical. It's the same game. You played on a Game Gear or at home. So let's come to my personal favorite. From the beginning to the end of the match, you are pushed into or pulled into the WWF era from the late 80s. You can choose between one player versus computer, two player versus, or two player versus the computer. So you had some variations. It was in fact the second released WWF game on the 8-bit systems, and that shocked me a little bit, because it was the best game. Later games were not that good, and earlier of course not, except for Steel Cage Challenge on the Master System. I think it's a very close coming in, because you could control what you do all the time in Steel Cage Challenge. Here you have two opportunities. You can punch your opponent from the front you can make a body slam, give him an atomic drop from behind, or a kick. And you can also get on the pole and get out of the ring. This is a little bit trickier and not good for your energy. What really is funny is when you're playing a tag team match with the computer, you can also give the computer instructions like come in to the ring or distract the tag partner on the outside. So attack would be impossible. Also, as you realize, you can make a tournament, you against every other wrestler on the cartridge. There were 8 if I remember correct. The big names are in, like Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Ravishing Rick Rude, the Macho King, Randy Savage, the Big Boss Man, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So this game is the complete wrestling feeling on your 8-bit system. So, and that was it for this week's episode of the Lazy Video Gamer Show. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said it was a little bit an unfair comparison between these two systems. But at the end, they are your games and your fun. Have a fantastic Sunday, a fantastic week, and don't forget, the game is never over. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro.